here, senior real estate specialist here in the Houston area, serving Montgomery and Harris County. I am super excited today because we're going to chat with my good friend Maritza Ortega, who owns a staging company. And it's so important. I can't emphasize enough when you're about to sell your home, especially for seniors. A lot of them haven't done a lot of updating, and so we're going to chat a little bit about that. But welcome, Maritza. I'm so glad to have you on the call. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and why you even started this business?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It all started about 7 years ago. The industry has grown so much. 7 years ago, I didn't know there was such thing as staging, but I have always been into real estate, looking at homes online, mainly for investment purposes. And sometimes the way the house looked, it was a little disappointing, but I thought it is what it is. Well, one day there was an open house in my neighborhood, and you know that neighbors are busy. Nosy. So I did go to the open house, and I knew that people, just because I drive by that street every day, and the kids were always not very well behaved. So when I went inside the house, everything was so perfect, so organized, clean, and it had just the right amount of furniture that I got suspicious. I said, there is no way they can live like this. There's just no way. It looks like a model home. So my neighbor said, yeah, that's called staging. I didn't know there was such a thing. And I said, this is what I would love to do. I've always liked all things home, starting with my own home. So I did research. Sure thing, there's a whole industry that has grown a lot in the last few years, all because of HGTV. And I went into my certification to become a stager, and I have been helping investors, homeowners, and realtors ever since.
It's just amazing, right? I like to think about it like, when we get dressed in the morning, we put on clothes. Yes. But when we put on our earrings, our necklace, rings, it's the finishing touch. And you say, oh, she looks so put together. It's the same thing with a home, right?
Absolutely. I always tell my clients, it's like going on a job interview. You wouldn't go with your pajamas and your messy hair and no makeup, right? So that's exactly what you're saying.
And I like to tell my sellers as well, a good analogy is if you were selling your car, you would probably get it detailed and, washed and spick and span. It's the same thing with our homes. Once a person decides to go from living in their home to selling it, it's a different thing. It's now a product. So let's talk a little bit quickly. We have some pictures, some before and after pictures. So I'll let you share with everybody what we're seeing.
So this is an investment property. It's a condominium in the Post Oak area. And of course, investors want to get the best price possible for their home because it's an investment. And whether you're an investor or not, all of us want to ensure that we're not leaving money on the table. So he put as part of his budget, it was staging. And we did stage this property to sell. We also wanted to make sure we stood out from the competition. So
let's see there's the after.
That's the after. So for example, in this case, this was the first time I worked with this investor. And one of his concerns is that we were going to use furniture that would be that would go according to this type of place. So one of the very important things that we focus on is, number one, the type of property. We want to make sure the furniture that we select goes well with the type of property. In this case, it's a condominium in the Galleria area. We also want to make sure we complement the color scheme or the features of the home. In this case, the investor had selected a blue tone for the walls and an accent wall. So again, we don't want to put a color that clashes, but a color that complements. And the third thing that we want to look at is the type of buyer. It would be a professional, a young professional, someone who wants to be close to their work or within the Galleria area and all the amenities. So yeah, sure indeed, the buyer was a young guy or gentleman in his 30s, a young professional. So that's who we're trying to appeal. So those are the things that we consider when staging a home.
Right, so that is very important. You need to know kind of your price point, right? The type of buyer you would be appealing to, kind of a little bit, maybe, you know, whether it's going to be, like you said in your example, a young professional, or if it's a family home that would appeal to someone with children, then you're going to stage it differently. So very good points. Okay, this next one is a kitchen that is a little on the dark side. And by the way, no one ever says to me, Astrid, please find me a house that's small and dark.
Absolutely, yes.
They all want it to look like this.
Absolutely. So let me tell you some things about this home. The way that we live and the way that we market and sell our house are two different things. And the way that we live, it's perfect because it fits our lifestyle. And it's the place, our home is the place where we feel happy and comfortable, and not a model home. However, when we're selling, it does have to look like a model home. So one of the things that you mentioned very important is that these days, especially with everything that's going on, people are going to be looking online. So those pictures are super important because that's how we're going to bring buyers to the house. If the pictures look dark and just like the very first picture, people are not going to want to come into that house. They're just going to skip that house and go to the next one, right? So one very important thing is the presentation. Number two is to understand that the way that we live and the way that we market our home are two different things. And then something very important that you mentioned, you work with seniors. And it's important when we're working with a homeowner, in this case, the home was occupied. It's important that we understand that their belongings are important to them. They're their treasures. For example, I have a picture of my mom here. And if you were to tell me that's junk or that's horrible or that's dated, put it away, you would hurt my feelings. So you have to be very sensitive on how you approach homeowners and how you will get them to understand that they're valuable. It's just important for us to put them away for the moment, just while we sell the house. Mm-hmm. It's just a short period of time until we move into our next home. So that's what this home is about. Those
tell me a little bit about other services that you might offer. I know you work a lot with investors and realtors and getting the home staged, but what if someone just needs like decorating help?
We also do provide color consultation. For example, we have a homeowner we're working. They're very excited. They're bought a new house and they want help with selecting furniture, with selecting the right colors for their home. We're also now incorporating into our services repairs and painting, all those things that need to be done to the house before we sell the home. Also, when for example, you are helping a seller and then the inspection report comes back with all these repairs, we also help people address those. We're incorporating that as part of our services. So consultations and home decorating for new buyers. Sometimes people ask us to, because they love what we did with their home when we were staging, they ask us to help them with their new home on how to position furniture and decorating items.
Yeah, that can be a little tricky because you do such a good job and then they say, I think I'll stay. I don't want to move now.
Yes. The good thing is that they can recreate that in their new home.
Yes, very good. Well, thank you so much. I think you are just amazing, the work that you do. If people wanted more information, what's the best way for them to reach you?
We're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, our website, maritzaortega.com.
Okay, where would they follow you on Facebook? What's your page name?
Maritza Ortega.
Okay.
Yes, you can find me with my name, Maritza
Okay.
Ortega.
So you're on social media, but they can do the old-fashioned way and they can call you. This is your cell phone number here?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And let's see here. I'm going to also share with everyone your email address is right
Correct.
there.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Maritza. You are a treasure, and you obviously love what you do. You have such a passion for it, and I hope a lot of people call you, because though the market is really hot right now, you still have to put some effort to it. I mean, I think people think, oh, I don't have to pick up my dirty clothes or the dishes in the sink. The market's so hot. It's hot to a point. You still have to get your house ready, and like we said earlier, if you were going to go for a job interview or sell your car, you want to make it the best impression possible, because you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, people are looking online and they're swiping very quickly, and you only have a few seconds to make a good impression to get a potential buyer to say, yes, I think I want to take a look at this house. So great
And for many
information.
of us, our home is our greatest investment. So we want to make sure we're not leaving any money on the table. So that's why it is super important to address the presentation of the home before we put it on the market.
Exactly. All right, Maritza, thank you so much. We will see you
Thank you
next
for having
time.
me.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.